As we've worked our way through this course, there have been occasions when I've expanded Dreamweaver by using free extensions. However, in this final section, I want to talk in a little bit more detail about extensions, but extensions that aren't free. They're not particularly expensive, but I do have to say they aren't free. And I'm only bringing them up here because for that minimum outlay, they will hugely accelerate your workflow. And if you are up against a deadline, then they will save you an awful lot of time. I'll start off here though by showing you this history page. I've got it created inside our history folder, and there is the history file. Now at the moment, apart from it saying history here, it looks exactly like our index page. And you'll remember that's because we duplicated our index page into this history page. And once we want to start adapting the page, maybe by removing this photograph, I'll select it, and then I'll come up to Edit and run down here and click on Cut. Okay, so that photograph is now removed. Well, as you know, it's not particularly difficult to now add in some content of our own. For example, if I place my cursor here, and then by going to my Common panel and choosing the div tag here, as we know by now, we'll see this Insert Div dialog. And first of all, I'm asked, where do I want to create this new content? Either at the insertion point, which is where my cursor is at the moment, or if I want to change that, click on the drop arrow here. Well, I can either place the div after the start of the tag or before the end of the tag. Well, I'm going to leave it at the insertion point. Therefore, now I'll work my way down to ID. I'm not too concerned about setting a class. So with my ID, I'll call this history text. And if I wanted to adjust what the text is going to look like in terms of style, then I could create a new CSS file here and write in the relevant code so that the text within this div takes on that styling. Well, I'm not going to just for this example, so I'll come up here and click on OK. And there we go, we now have our div inserted with that filler text, which means from this point, I can now start adding in further text, obviously more relevant to this history page. But for this example, I'm going to use our lorem ipsum generator again, the free extension, so I'll click on it here, I'll change the amount of paragraphs to 2, and then OK it. And now we can see how easy it is, by using a div tag like this, how we can insert further content. Now that doesn't look great at the moment because of the div filler text, so I'll left click at the end of it and drag over it to highlight it, and then hit delete on my keyboard. Okay, so that's how easy it is then. As I say, it's no real hardship to add in further content like this. And of course, this hasn't cost us anything at all, because inserting a div tag like that, of course, comes with Dreamweaver. And the extension that we've used to add in that filler text, well, that is free as well. And from this point, as we are wireframing or designing our site, then once we have got our relevant content created, i.e. relevant history text, then we would replace all that filler text there. But by doing it this way, you can see how easy it is to get the bare bones of our site sorted out first of all. You could perhaps then take this to the client and say, this is what it's going to look like when we're finished. All I need now from you is the text that you want me to use, and any photographs, and of course the payment. And then you would go back and simply replace all the text and the photographs with the relevant ones from the client, so you can turn the site into the site that they want. However, that all said, despite it being relatively easy within Dreamweaver, as I said at the beginning of this lesson, if you are up against a deadline and you need to create a fully compliant professional website, then I suggest searching with Google for Dreamweaver extensions. And just to save you some time, I'm going to show you 2 or 3 companies that I tend to use quite a lot. For example, this company, Extend Studio, this is the website address up here. Well, one of the extensions that they make is this one here, Layouts Pro. Once you are looking at their website, by clicking on this banner here, you'll see further information about it. And in fact, I'm going to talk you through this particular extension in the next lesson, so let me show you another one. This company, WebAssist, well, they are very highly regarded throughout the Dreamweaver community because not only do they make extensions that you can use, but they also make a real time saver if you've got a client who's requesting that you make a full e-commerce shop for them. And you'll find it if you come over here to where it says Pre-Built Store and then select Power Store, then you'll learn about this particular extension. As it says, it's a pre-built online store, which essentially is a very complex template that you can then fully modify for your client, ready for them to sell whatever products that they want to sell via the internet. Anyway, now that we've had a quick overview of third-party extensions, unfortunately paid-for extensions, I'm going to leave this lesson here, but in the following lesson, I'll talk you through that Layouts Pro that we saw a moment ago. Okay, see you in a second.